My name is Lisa Moses, and my husband Danny and I have been in Chiangrai for almost 10 years. And before that, we lived in America, in California. When I was younger, I was a ballet dancer, and then I studied acting, and I did some acting. And then about 20 years ago, I got more serious about my artwork. I always drew and painted and did art, but not as my main focus. Mainly I was a ballet dancer, and I danced in various companies and performed a lot. And then when I stopped dancing, I studied acting. And when I stopped acting, I said, you know what, I really want to paint and draw. And then my father invented a technique called the cast acrylic print, which I do a lot now. I've been doing for about 15 years. So that's what I'm doing in Chiangrai. We moved to Chiangrai because we had visited here in 2001, and we just loved it. We thought it was beautiful and peaceful, and the people were friendly. And so when I retired, we came here in 2007, and it's been even more wonderful than we imagined. The beauty here is amazing, especially during the rainy season, like right now. And the people have been so welcoming and warm, and the art community is wonderful. There's so much support. The artists support each other, and of course there's Artbridge now, which is an amazing organization. And I feel inspired by the beauty of Chiangrai. And also, of course, my background is in dance and ballet, and so movement is very inspiring to me. I love the way people move, and the way birds fly, and the way elephants move. And so I use all of this in my artwork. And my artwork usually has a lot of movement in it. Even when I don't mean to do that, it just happens. So being in Chiangrai, just being here is inspiring. The cast acrylic print technique allows me to make a one-time print without a printing press. So they're monotype prints. And I use a plate made out of polyethylene. It's possible to use glass, I think, but polyethylene works really well because the basic idea is that there's an acrylic base, acrylic paint base, that peels off of the polyethylene. And so you work on a plate and create a piece, then put a backing on it, and when everything is dry, you peel it off, and what went down first is what you see. Which is very tricky, really, because when you're painting on a canvas, the last thing you paint is what you see, what's on top. But when you're making a cast acrylic print, what's on the bottom is what you see. And it means that there are things you can do that you can't do with a canvas. For example, I could draw a face, the outline of face, and then put a collage piece on top of that. And when I pull the piece up, you'll see the face with the background of the collage piece. And I use a lot of pieces from the Hubble telescope, which is out in outer space. And they're wonderful photos of galaxies and planets and gases, space gases, which sounds awful, but they're beautiful. And so I use this as an element in my artwork because I like to see how Earth and the sky and the universe interact with each other. This technique was invented by my father, and he has 2 US patents on it. And he's been doing it for at least 20 years. And his work is quite different from mine, but using the same technique. And in California and in America, more and more people are starting to do it. So it's becoming a little more popular. But it's tricky. It's not easy, but when it works, it's wonderful. So for this exhibit, I want to show how the imagination can take real-world things and make them different and exciting and colorful. So I combine, for example, the idea of a bird flying in the sky to a bird flying out in the stars, or an elephant walking in the grass to an elephant walking on the stars, or a person sitting on the ground to a person sitting on a cloud. So I mix up those things together and show how the imagination can be used to create anything. So that's what I try to do with my work in this show. In Her Eyes, our women's exhibition at Artbridge is a really unique experience, a really unique happening, because it's never happened before in northern Thailand, where just women artists got together. And there are 26 of us. And I think the show is going to be absolutely remarkable. There's going to be some beautiful work. There's going to be also a really nice event. The overall evening we're planning, I think, will be really great. So I hope you'll make time to come to it. The opening is at 6 o'clock on 22 July, and it's open until 20 August. So hope to see you there.